Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If you haven't, hi, my name is Kelly. Welcome to the Coach Kelly channel. I go over all things health and wellness, and today I wanted to talk about IIN, or the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. That's where I got my health coaching certification. So if you're wondering if you want to enroll, if you want to get your health coaching certification, or if you're just wondering what I did with my certification post-graduation, then just keep on watching and be sure to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. So I wanted to give a little overview of IIN in general. It's an online health coaching program. It's based in New York City, but you can take the course from anywhere. So it's actually, there's 40 modules and you are given one module every week unless it's a holiday week. Basically, it takes you a few hours per week. Some of the topics, to be honest, since I did study nutrition, which I'll get into this later, but some of them I already knew a lot about the topic, so I would just kind of like fast forward through the different discussion, or I would just kind of flip through the PowerPoint really fast just because I already know that information. I have my bachelor's in nutrition, so coming from someone who is a nutritionist and already knows a lot about nutrition, there were a lot of different topics that I kind of breezed through, so it might take you longer. I would say maximum amount of time per week is probably 5 hours per week, and there's a quiz every single week based on the different topics that are given in the module. So there's different lectures, there's some PowerPoint slides, there's some videos, there's 3 different discussion forums that you have to just kind of comment on and then comment on other people's, and if you want. And then there's a quiz at the end of the module. So it really honestly takes probably 4 to 5 hours. And that's if you know nothing about nutrition and you're really into it and you want to watch every single lecture. It'd take you around 5 hours, I would say. If you're kind of fast and if you're not writing paragraphs on paragraphs in the discussion forum, it should probably only take you a few hours per week. And it was around, I want to say $4,000. 4,000 to 5,000. It depends on the time of year. So I remember I signed up in July and there was some type of discount going on, like a Christmas in July type discount. And I signed up for a payment plan. So I paid around $200 per month. And I also signed up with an alumni discount. So I named one of the girls that I had talked to on Instagram that helped me kind of get started at IIN and gave me some information about it. And I just really liked how she laid out her email. It was very personalized, and so I wanted to use her as my reference, and so then I got some money off. And then as an alumni, you can actually make money off of that. I know some people don't admit that. They just want you to think that they're just referring you to the program, but you do make, I think, $400 if you're an alumni. So that's just something to keep in mind. You make some money as an alumni if you do refer someone. So a lot of videos that I've seen on YouTube or just posts on Instagram or whatever it is, like a lot of people are trying to get people to sign up for as an IIN health coach and start the program because they can use that money, you know, to pay off their tuition or use it for whatever, which I totally understand, but I'm definitely not here to do that today. If you are interested, you can of course always email me. I can link it in the description box below, or DM me on Instagram. I would always reply. I reply to a lot of people's questions about the program all the time on Instagram, so it's not that I'm opposed to the program by any means, but I just wanted to be honest and open that you do receive some type of kickback if you do refer someone and they use your name. So first I wanted to discuss some of the pros of the program coming from someone who's already studied nutrition and just overall how I felt about the program. So the first thing is they teach you a ton about nutrition, and this was almost a con for me because I already knew a lot about nutrition, and yes, of course, I learned some new topics, but all in all, they teach you, you know, what is a protein, what is a carbohydrate, what is a fat, what are healthy fats, you know, what's a good combination of foods, and I already knew that from my bachelor's degree way more in detail than they ever went over. So for me, the first maybe 3 to 4 or 5 months of the program was just kind of an overview for me, so I kind of almost regretted that because I wasn't learning anything. So I was kind of just zipping through, to be completely honest. Sometimes I would zip through everything because I already knew. It was just like a refresher, and then I'd take the quiz and I'd always pass right away because I already knew the information. So I liked the discussion forums the best, probably per week, because I was able to just kind of self-reflect, type something up, put it into writing, and then connect with other people on the forum. And then of course, my best advice is to try to connect with as many people as you can on that forum, and then get connected on the Facebook group that you're given. Every single group for IIN has a Facebook group, so you could pop on there, talk to people, follow them on Instagram, get their emails, get their numbers, and I didn't do that. So I think the biggest thing is networking and using the resources that they give you. So that's why I put that on the pro side, because there's a ton of nutrition information. They go over every single dietary theory. They're really in depth about all the knowledge and information that they do give. They have a lot of really cool speakers that talk and do different lectures with the program, and that really impressed me a lot. And I do think that it's worth the money if you're going to use the program at the end to actually take on clients, but I'll get into that after. So the number one pro is just that there was a ton of nutrition knowledge. And then the second pro was that it was all online. So it only, like I said, took a few hours per week for me. It wasn't anything that took up a ton of time. And it was also another pro. It was a 1-year program. So it really didn't take too long per week. And then it was just a year program. So for me, in 1 year, it was September 2018 through September 2019 when I had, that was my program dates. And I felt like it went by super fast just because it was only a few hours a week. So it wasn't a big commitment. At the very end, they actually do coaching calls with you, and I was kind of hesitant. I didn't know what it would entail, but don't be nervous about it if you do end up signing up for IIN. It's basically you are set up with a coach, an alumni member from IIN, and a few other students that are in your program, and you're just able to talk to them, vent to them, ask any questions for the alumni member, and then also just go over various topics, practice coaching, talk about, do different exercises, talk about different topics that you're concerned about. So honestly, I really actually liked the coaching calls, and I think you're required to do 4 coaching calls, and then you don't even have to pass all of the tests. So I believe every 10 modules you were given an actual test, and I think it's around 30 questions long, but they're really not that hard as long as you paid attention enough. It's really not too difficult, and I don't think you have to pass all of the tests in order to pass to get the certification. So all in all, it's not very hard to pass and to get the certification, so that was a pro for me. So the other pro that I kind of touched on earlier was that you're allowed to connect with the other coaches in your program, and it was encouraged. So through the Facebook group, through the discussion forum, through the coaching calls, you're encouraged to connect with the other coaches in your program, which I thought was really cool. I just didn't take full advantage of that, to be honest. I kind of just did my work every week and then, checked off that box. But if I could go back, I'd definitely connect with more coaches. But I do currently connect with a lot of coaches on Instagram that have it in their Instagram bio or talk about it in their captions and posts. I might be more inclined to message them knowing that they went to IIN, and that's kind of a connector for us. Just like if you went to the same college as someone, you feel a little bit more connected to them. So definitely allowing yourself to connect with other coaches, being open to networking will definitely put you in a good position for opening your business in the future. And then my last pro that I wanted to touch on is they do give you business advice and different business tools through the program. So you're given a certain amount of business cards. They give you advice on how to start a website, social media tips, and they just give you ideas for your business, and then have different people in that give lectures about starting an online business, specifically with health coaching, but just really any online business. So I really liked that and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't until around halfway through the program that they started giving business advice. But I'll kind of start off with the cons now and talk to you about some of the things, because that was also on my list. So the business aspect of the program is, I believe, halfway through. They start talking about business, but a lot of it is outdated. If I'm being totally honest, a lot of the social media advice that they give you is kind of outdated, and there's never a direct answer, which I totally understand, because it's hard to tell someone about how to grow on social media just organically, especially when there's so many health coaches out there. So I understand there's not just a one size fits all type answer to give to people, but I just found that it was really hard to grow my following in the beginning, and I was wondering how all of these other IIN coaches that I saw on Instagram were just like growing like crazy. And to be honest, I thought, oh, well, if these people are growing, then I'm going to go through the program, take on clients, and then I can quit my full job and do this full time. And it's like, like, you can, of course, and there's people that do it all the time, but for me it was really a struggle, because I just thought, if I go to IIN, if I pass, if I get the certification, if I make an Instagram, if I post every day, I'll just like have all these followers, and it just takes time. So I'm actually gonna do another video after this and talk about how I grew my online business, how I started my social media, and I'm no genius, I'm no expert, but this is just how I started, and a lot of coaches that I talked to on my coaching calls through IIN were really impressed with the knowledge that I had just about starting off in general. I watch a ton of tutorials, and I'm really into social media. I'm trying to build my following as much as I can, and just being patient with it, but I want to give you some of the tips if you're just starting out. So I'm making that video after this, like I said. So I'll end up giving you guys some tips and just give you as much knowledge as I can. Going off of the last kind of con that I talked about, a lot of the current IIN alumni that I personally know or have seen on Instagram don't have clients right now. A lot of them have branched off, which I think can be a pro as well, because it opens a lot of doors for you. But a lot of them are business coaches. They work with brands on Instagram. They do sponsored content. They create content for other brands, health related brands. And I think that that's awesome, because IIN obviously taught them a ton about nutrition and business, and they use those tools to be able to expand on what they really wanted to do. Maybe they took on a couple clients, realized they didn't really want to do it, and then used their knowledge instead to create a platform on social media to increase the knowledge and awareness of nutrition and the different wellness topics that they learned through IIN. So I think that's awesome, and that's actually like kind of a pro and a con. But a lot of the alumni that I know now don't really take on clients, or they're just doing something totally different now, which I think is awesome. And I think that it really just gives you the confidence to be able to take on clients, but also know and be open-minded that that might not happen right away, and it takes a long time to build a clientele. But creating a platform on social media can kind of fuel you and give you that passion and kind of fill that passion for you, even if you don't have clients at the end of the day, or if you're not full-time working for yourself. This could also be a side project. I really recommend keeping your full-time job. I don't think that you should quit your full-time job like I did, unless you're miserable like I was. But you know, just if you're not really sure if you want to become a health coach, you're not sure what you're going to do with it, you don't know if you're going to get clients, instead of putting all that pressure on yourself, if you do like your current full-time job, keep it. Do this on the side. It's really a small commitment, so there's no need to quit. It's not like getting a bachelor's degree or master's degree. There's really no in-person commitment at all, so you can do it completely online, and then you can build, you know, your platform on the side. And then if you get clients, great. If you don't, then at least you have all the knowledge. So I think heading into it, just know that. And the reason I kind of bring that up was because no one was straight up with me like that in the beginning. They were like, oh, of course you're gonna get clients, of course you're gonna do well, you already have your nutrition degree, you're gonna get so many clients. And I kind of was gassed up a little bit, and then when I didn't have that many clients, I did in the beginning, but then all of a sudden it started kind of tapering off, I was like, okay, am I doing something wrong? And then I realized there's so many alumni that are doing completely different things with their platform. So just know that it's not a one road for everyone, and it's not you get your IIN certification, you get clients, you quit your full-time job, you have clients forever. Some people do that, and I've seen people on Instagram that are completely working for themselves, self-employed, have clients, and they don't have another form of income. But a lot of people just have it as an additional add-on to your resume, which really helps, honestly, if you want to work in the corporate world as a health coach. It helps to have that certification, because a lot of companies require you to have a health coaching certification if you're going to be a health coach in the corporate wellness realm, or just the health and wellness realm in general at a more 9-to-5 type job. So it does help your resume, in addition to your knowledge and potentially creating a social media account that talks about health and wellness topics. The last con that I did want to talk about, and I kind of touched on this earlier, it's kind of all blending together, but if you studied nutrition for your bachelor's degree or your master's or whatever, if you're a registered dietitian, a nutritionist, whatever you happen to be, there isn't a lot of new information that they're going to give you. A lot of dietary theories are gone over, which normally are gone over in a bachelor's degree with nutrition. There's a lot of, again, the different concepts of nutrition that are talked about. There's, what is a protein? What is a carb? What is a fat? What is a good diet for everyone? They go over a lot of just, simple general advice to give the masses that could help, like, make sure you tell your clients to drink more water, to have a regular sleep schedule, to increase their fruits and vegetables, to push out all the bad foods and crowd in with the good foods. And I mean, that's good advice, but that's just things that you already know if you studied nutrition. So that's what I would warn some people that have already studied nutrition if you're planning on getting a health coaching certification through IIN. So all in all, in conclusion, I am happy that I have my health coaching certification. I think it's a great add-on to my resume, and it's really motivated me and inspired me to start my platform on Instagram and on YouTube and share more with you guys, the listeners and the viewers, and I'm able to just give this content out for free. I'm hoping to eventually start working with brands and start doing sponsored posts and be able to share my knowledge with even more people and create a following through that. But I'm also planning on getting a more corporate wellness position with my health coaching certification. So that is kind of my plan as of now. And again, I am happy that I did get the certification. It is kind of a lot of money just for that, but I know that obviously everything happens for a reason and I don't regret it at all. But it really just depends on your specific circumstance, if you think that it's worth it or not. If you know nothing about nutrition, you really want to take on clients, you're really passionate about helping people, then by all means, it seems like a perfect fit. So I would just consider that before applying to the program. It's really easy to get into the program. Don't worry about that. You pretty much just have to talk to a representative on the phone and then sign up, and it's really not that hard. But of course, if you have any questions, you can drop them below in the comments, or you can always message me on Instagram or Facebook or email. So I'll put all the information down below. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope I helped you a little bit, just going over the information about IIN, kind of my perspective on the entire program, pros and cons, and gave you a little bit of a different perspective and a more realistic, approachable perspective on the whole thing, instead of just kind of sugarcoating it. But no shade to anyone else who's posted a YouTube video about it. Like, everyone has their own story, and some people have a lot of success around IIN, and I'm so happy for everyone that has so many clients, and that's amazing. And if you're passionate about helping people, then that is great. But I just wanted to give my perspective because I know it's a little bit of a different view on the whole IIN program. But again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.